Hey friends, family, and strangers, here's what you need to know about skin flushing. To all of you who have the skin flushing happening to you, this video is going to be about awareness and what we really want to say to the people around us. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome back to my channel. My name is April, and what I talk about here is a lot about skin flushing, identifying what's causing the skin flushing, solutions, exposure therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and things that'll help us lean in and move through what we fear most or what makes us feel most insecure, whether we have an instant solution or not. So today I thought I would take a little bit of a turn on things and bring some awareness. Make this video about awareness of skin flushing and a little bit informational towards people around us. So if you're watching this and you're a skin flusher person, face, neck, chest, arms, whatever the case may be for you, we tend to be able to talk a lot to each other about how it makes us feel or what we wish we could say to people. And so I just wanted to cover that in this video today. I wanted this to be something that if you needed to send it to a friend or family member, somebody in your life that you feel you don't really have the words to always explain, that maybe I could help offer some words and you could borrow them and share this with the people around you in regards to what you're dealing with. And also what I would like to invite you to do is in the comments below, leave your own feedback of if I missed something on this video of what you want to say to people around you. And so if people share this video with their people in their life, they can also skim through the comments and see things that I didn't cover in the video. So what is skin flushing? You know, honestly, we don't know. So if you see me and you see me start to flush across my neck and we're just sitting down having dinner and I see your attention gets focused on my neck and my chest and you're concerned, you're genuinely concerned, you may go, is everything okay? Especially if we're eating, you're gonna think I just had an allergic reaction. I did not have an allergic reaction. My skin is flushing, and it's something that happens in my own knowledge because of multiple reasons. It can be because I just got hot all of a sudden. I went from a cooler body temperature to a hot body temperature very quickly. Body didn't have enough time to adjust. Skin flushing. It could be because I'm drinking alcohol. And alcohol, the way it has a certain effect on the body, can create this thing called an Asian flush, which will make your neck, chest, face very red. And it seems very abrupt, but it's also because I just had alcohol. It could be because I'm having such a good time and my body temperature is rising and I'm excited, and a lot of times with excitement, or we just talked about something that just floored me, and by floored I mean made me really excited and pumped, but also literally just pumped me with adrenaline that will cause that redness to happen. It could be because I'm freaking pissed off and I'm upset about a confrontation, or I'm uncomfortable, or I'm socially anxious in the moment. It could be because if you're a female, during my cycle, you have hormones that are throughout your cycle. You have estrogen, you have progesterone, and it could be because there's a flush of estrogen hitting my body right now and it's having a reaction, or progesterone, which if you have what's actually an allergic reaction to progesterone, most of the time not life-threatening. If you have an allergic reaction to progesterone, you will have skin flushing, hives, and things like that will happen to your body. It could be a sympathetic nervous system response. It could be, which is involuntary, by the way. It could be because I have urethrophobia. Watch my video on urethrophobia, because it's just the words. You have to see the video to get why that's funny. It could be because I have urethrophobia, which is a fear of turning red and having that skin flushing happen in a social setting, because then I would be judged, and it's actually the fear of that happening, not necessarily the outside world, but what's happening inside of my body. And it could be a histamine reaction. It could be histamine reaction to certain foods that I'm eating, or cortisol that's releasing into my body. It could be so many different things. And it doesn't mean that I'm broken or that I'm harmed right now. It's just my body having an involuntary reaction. So here's what we would say to those people. What we need from you If and when that happens, give us a safe place to be able to discuss it. Let's say you are concerned and you look at it and go, oh my gosh, are you okay? That makes it worse. It makes it worse. But we actually could use that if you're a trusted person in our life. We could use that as a talking opportunity to do talk therapy with you, and you help us overcome that fear that we're having in that moment of having that red appearance. So if you say, hey, I noticed that you're doing it right now. Talk to me about what's going on. And then give us the space to talk. Don't interrupt and don't try to fix it. Let us talk, Interesting. Am I flushing right now? Wow, I didn't even notice I was doing that. Let me think about what's going on right now. I'm not sure. This must be just an involuntary reaction that's happening just because it's Tuesday at 6 p.m. I don't know. And then letting us just talk through our feelings if we're having them. Because sometimes we're in a place where we're like, I don't really care. And then sometimes we're in a place where we just feel broken and tore down because that's happening and you pointed it out. And let us talk through how this makes me feel. You know what? I just feel so weak when this happens. I feel like people are judging me when this happens. I feel so small and just torn down, and that I'm not going to amount to much because this is happening to me and it sets me back in my life. And then give us the space to continue to talk about how we're feeling in the moment. And if you, my friend, could offer some encouragement back to us. For example, my husband says this to me a lot. I do see it happening, but I think it's bigger in your head than it is to the outside world, because I see it happening, but I'm not focused on it because what you're saying is so important or so interesting that I'm not concerned about what that is. And I've also noticed other people who get red like that. It may not be as much as that, but I notice people, their skin changes throughout the day in conversations and meetings and things that I've been a part of. So anyway, what were we talking about? Yes, let's talk about blah, blah, blah. That giving us that space to know that you as an outsider are looking at us and saying, I've noticed it, but it's not that big of a deal. I think that if we could have that support, first of all, that you would know and understand, it's not just because we're nervous or anxious. There is something happening inside of our body that we can't get control of. And I think think about that, you can't get control of it. So it makes you feel completely out of control. And how this can become detrimental and debilitating to people. So just kind of coming into our circle with us, joining alongside us and letting us know, hey, this doesn't happen to me, but I'm here with you and I see that happening, and encouraging us and reminding us that it doesn't make us any less. I think that would be incredibly helpful. Here's the thing. It's just like any other complex that people deal with in life. And I'm not trying to say that this is a complex, but it really is depending on where you're at in your mind over it. This is me talking to my fellow skin flushers again. It's really about where you're at in your mind and where you are in the acceptance. I had a subscriber say to me the other day, they're still in the hide in the corner phase, and that's okay. That is okay if that's where you're at. I was in the hide in the corner phase for quite a while, and it took me being in the corner and away from everybody to realize this is not how I want to live my life, but I had to make that decision. And so for each of you, you have to make your own decision. And part of, I think, our overcoming process, especially if we're going to get to radical acceptance or a solution for it, is being able to sit with it, not run from it, but sit with it alone and get to know it alone, one-on-one. And then as we start to come back out in public settings, and we're maybe wearing a lower cut shirt because we could feel like we could show it for the first time, or your face, whatever your flushing may be. It's your journey. But the support around us is part of why I created this channel, was to be able to have a community of support where I could do some research, you could do some research, and we could share that back and forth. But for those around us, because most likely we all have people around us, and if you're younger, you're in school, and people are not as nice in school. So you may have, like for me, if somebody points out my skin flushing, they're an adult, they're most likely a mature adult, and it's going to be out of genuine concern. But in school, kids can be really mean. That's a different situation. We could talk about that a different day if you're interested. But it's just knowing that the people around us understand and can support it. I've had people kind of brush it off and go, it's not that big of a deal, and we just move through it. Actually, my husband at first used to say it's not that big of a deal, and I would just kind of close up because he says it's not that big of a deal, I don't want to keep talking about it. But when I really started talking about it with him, about how it really affects me, it opened his mind up to, wow, it wasn't that big of a deal to me, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal to you. And but then he came and got close with me on the fact that, wow, this is actually something complex that you're working through. And then I told one of my closest girlfriends about it. I know that she had seen it before, but she didn't know how I internally was suffering really with it. And so one day I just went and sat with her and talked to her about it and about this journey, about how I was going to start a YouTube channel and just start openly talking about it. And she was so supportive and said, yeah, I noticed it, but I didn't ever really think much about it. And some people kind of laugh about it. They'll say, oh, I could tell you were getting upset in that meeting. I saw your neck start to splotch. And I know that they're just saying, I saw your neck start to splotch. You were getting upset. And usually if it's coworkers, I was getting upset in a meeting. I saw your neck start to splotch and I was like, oh gosh, here we go. And that I laugh along with it and it's funny to me. But they also don't know that that's actually an incredibly huge insecurity, knowing that I'm flushing. And so I just laugh along with it and I'm like, yeah, I was getting pissed, y'all. But that's understandable when you're pissed. It's understandable to become red when you're pissed. And what I'm talking about is when you're just going about your day to day and it shows up. So I don't want to get too long-winded with it, but I did want to make a quick video, and maybe I'll make more of these types of videos that we could share with those around us, especially with your suggestions. I'd be happy to talk about those, just to be able to broaden the awareness of people who deal with skin flushing, which is basically your blood vessels inside of your body. When you have an adrenaline surge, it is flooded with oxygen and blood, and it pulls it up close to the surface because it expands. So once it gets up on the skin, it just flushes like crazy. So we have that happening in our body all the time, but when it becomes expanded and that rush of oxygen and blood makes it really red, that's when we have the flushing happen. So all of that to say, let's just continue to bring awareness. Maybe you could have a conversation with one of your close friends or family members this week, today, or next week, whenever you feel that it's appropriate, and just start talking about, hey, you know that thing that happens on my face or on my chest? I want to talk to you about how it makes me feel and just get your insight. Or how does it look from an outside perspective? And let's continue to bring awareness and bring people into the community and into the safe circle of our own journeys with this skin flushing. That's all I have for you today. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It actually helps get into the algorithm of YouTube. I've been researching this a little bit, so that other people who are searching for a community such as this, they can know about it. And also, please leave in the comments below, comment what you would want to say to your friends and family around you, what they could do to help you feel more comfortable and overcome the insecurity. And if you need to share this video with someone that just doesn't get it, or you've been having a hard time having the conversation with them, share this video with them and see if that opens up a conversation for you guys. Thank you so much. Oh, and subscribe if you enjoy this video, or you've been browsing out my channel, just hanging around like a creeper in the background. Go ahead and subscribe, because it's going to continue to throw this channel into the algorithm of YouTube, and we can reach more people. This is our community. This is us bringing awareness. This is us speaking up, finding our voice, and showing ourselves, because we have so much to bring to this world, and we're not going to be found in a corner for very long. All right? So until next time, which is tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow.